In the late 1970s, China was known as the Bicycle Kingdom, a nation where millions relied on bicycles for daily life, and rural poverty was widespread. Most people lived in small villages working the land with limited access to modern conveniences. The country's economy was tightly controlled by the state, with factories and businesses run by the government, and little room for private enterprise or foreign trade. At the time, the idea that China could one day rival the United States economically seemed far-fetched, even impossible to most outside observers. Fast forward to today, China has become the world's second-largest economy, a global leader in manufacturing, technology, and international trade, exporting goods to every corner of the globe. Skyscrapers now tower over cities that were once filled with bicycles, and modern highways crisscross the landscape. High-speed trains connect sprawling megacities, making travel faster and more efficient than ever before. This transformation is one of the most remarkable economic stories of our time, reshaping not just China, but the entire world. Hundreds of millions of people have been lifted out of poverty, gaining access to better housing, education, and healthcare. China's rapid rise has fundamentally reshaped the global economy, influencing markets and industries everywhere. This was no accident, it was the result of bold, strategic decisions and reforms made by visionary leaders over 4 decades. We'll explore the sweeping reforms that opened China to the world, the manufacturing boom that followed, and the massive infrastructure investments, roads, bridges, airports that fueled its extraordinary growth. We'll also look at how investments in education and people's skills, and a focus on cutting-edge technology are shaping China's future as an innovation powerhouse. Understanding China's incredible journey from poverty to prosperity is key to understanding the world we live in today. Modern China's remarkable economic transformation truly begins with the vision and leadership of Deng Xiaoping, a pivotal figure in the country's history. Deng's policy of reform and opening up marked a dramatic shift from the rigid, centrally planned economy of the past, setting China on a new path toward modernization and prosperity. After the tumultuous years of Mao's era, Deng recognized that the old system was holding China back. He famously declared, "It doesn't matter if a cat is black or white, as long as it catches mice," emphasizing practical results over ideology. One of his first major reforms was the household responsibility system, which allowed farmers to lease land from the state and sell any surplus crops for profit. This was a radical departure from collective farming. The results were immediate and dramatic. Agricultural output soared, rural incomes rose, and millions of families experienced newfound stability and hope for the future. Building on this success, Deng established special economic zones in places like Shenzhen, which were designed to attract foreign companies, technology, and investment. These zones offered generous tax breaks and fewer regulations, rapidly transforming sleepy fishing villages into bustling global cities filled with skyscrapers and opportunity. China's opening to the world was cautious and carefully managed, balancing the power of market forces with strong state oversight to maintain stability. The government retained control over key sectors like energy and banking, but allowed private businesses and foreign investment to flourish in other areas, fueling rapid growth. This unique blend, often called socialism with Chinese characteristics, created the foundation for China's explosive economic rise and modernization. Deng's reforms unleashed a wave of entrepreneurship and innovation, empowering millions to start businesses and develop new ideas, turning China into a global economic powerhouse. The careful, step-by-step approach allowed China to learn from mistakes, adapt policies, and avoid the chaos that rapid change can bring, ensuring steady progress. These bold reforms became the launchpad for China's economic miracle, propelling the nation onto the world stage and reshaping the global economy for generations to come. Deng Xiaoping's sweeping reforms in the late 1970s and 1980s opened the door to a new era for China, transforming its economy and society. These changes paved the way for China to become the world's factory, a place where goods for every corner of the globe would be produced at an unprecedented scale. In the 1990s and 2000s, global companies flocked to China, drawn by its vast, low-cost labor force, improving infrastructure, and pro-business policies that welcomed foreign investment. Export-led growth became China's core strategy, starting with simple products like toys, shoes, and textiles, and then quickly moving up to more complex goods such as electronics, appliances, and heavy machinery. Made in China labels soon flooded global markets, bringing in a steady stream of foreign currency and fueling further investment and development across the country. Entire cities and regions were built around specialized industries, creating highly efficient supply chains and industrial clusters that were nearly impossible for competitors to replicate. China's 2001 entry into the World Trade Organization supercharged its exports, opening even more markets and driving years of double-digit economic growth. The world became deeply reliant on Chinese manufacturing, as everything from clothing to electronics filled store shelves worldwide. But China didn't stop at low-cost goods. It steadily moved up the value chain, producing computers, smartphones, and advanced telecom equipment, showing its determination to compete globally. Companies like Huawei and Lenovo emerged as global brands, representing China's growing technological capabilities and international ambitions. This shift from simple assembly lines to advanced manufacturing and research showed China's ambition to not just follow, but to lead in technology and innovation. Manufacturing was just the first act in China's economic story. The next chapter would be driven by innovation, research, and homegrown technology. China's rise as a manufacturing powerhouse set the stage for its next leap, transforming from the world's factory into a global leader in innovation and technology. Infrastructure investment has been a cornerstone of China's growth. The government built the world's largest high-speed rail network, modern expressways, and state-of-the-art ports. These projects connected cities, moved goods efficiently, and powered factories with massive energy projects like the Three Gorges Dam. Infrastructure didn't just support business, it created millions of jobs and boosted demand for materials. Ports like Shanghai and Ningbo Zhoushan became global trade hubs. This relentless building spree laid the groundwork for sustained growth. China's state-led vision for infrastructure set it apart from other developing nations. The result, a physical backbone capable of supporting a modern, dynamic economy. Infrastructure investment remains a defining feature of China's rise. China's leaders knew that long-term success required more than cheap labor. It needed skilled people. The government made 9 years of compulsory education a priority, boosting literacy and basic skills nationwide. As the economy advanced, China massively expanded its universities, especially in science, technology, engineering, and math. Today, China produces more STEM graduates than any other country. This educated workforce has powered the shift from simple assembly to sophisticated manufacturing and design. The rise of a domestic tech industry owes much to this investment in human capital. An adaptable, innovative workforce is now one of China's greatest assets. The combination of a huge population and a rapidly improving education system gives China a unique edge. This deep talent pool is fueling China's ambitions in technology and science. Education has been a silent engine behind China's economic transformation. Human capital is now at the heart of China's global competitiveness. With manufacturing mastered, China is now betting on innovation. The Made in China 2025 plan aims to make China a leader in robotics, AI, electric vehicles, and biotech. The government backs this push with massive funding and policy support. Tech giants like Alibaba, Tencent, and Huawei are no longer just copying, they're creating. China leads the world in mobile payments and is a major player in telecom and hardware. The shift to created in China is well underway, but challenges remain, fostering creativity, protecting intellectual property, and encouraging risk-taking. Still, China's huge market, government support, and STEM talent give it a powerful advantage. The innovation drive is China's boldest bet yet for long-term economic leadership. The world is watching as China moves from factory to innovator. China's economic rise is inseparable from its massive urbanization. Hundreds of millions moved from rural areas to cities, fueling the manufacturing boom and creating a new urban middle class. Over 800 million people have been lifted out of extreme poverty, a feat the World Bank calls historic. Urban migration meant better jobs, higher incomes, and improved living standards for millions. The government managed this shift by building new cities, housing, and infrastructure. In 1980, only 20% of Chinese lived in cities. Today it's over 65%. This urban middle class now drives domestic consumption, reducing reliance on exports. Urbanization has fundamentally changed Chinese society and powered its economic engine. The story of China's rise is, at its core, a story of its cities. Urbanization remains a key driver of China's future growth. By 2024, China's global economic influence is undeniable. It's not just a manufacturing giant, it's a major investor, tech leader, and trading partner worldwide. The Belt and Road Initiative has seen China invest billions in infrastructure across Asia, Africa, and beyond, creating new trade routes and deepening global ties. Chinese companies are buying foreign firms and investing in startups, while the yuan is gaining ground in global finance. This influence brings both opportunity and controversy. Some worry about debt, tech dominance, and China's approach to data and governance. The US-China relationship is now defined by competition and rivalry. How China wields its economic power will shape the 21st century. The world is watching China's next move. China's rise is a testament to vision, strategy, and the potential of its people. Bold reforms, manufacturing might, infrastructure, and education fueled its transformation. Urbanization lifted hundreds of millions out of poverty and created a vast middle class. Now China aims to lead in innovation and technology, with global influence through investment and the Belt and Road Initiative. But challenges loom: an aging population, high debt, environmental issues, and geopolitical tensions. The next chapter will require a shift to sustainable, innovation-driven growth and careful management of domestic and international pressures. China's ability to adapt will determine its future. The journey so far has been extraordinary. The world's eyes are on China as it navigates the road ahead. Can it build a balanced, sustainable economy for the future? Only time will tell if China's economic miracle can endure.